What is up, everybody? This is part 2 of the Q and the A. We had such a great response from this that we had to continue on, and we have a lot of questions to go. I'm just looking over on my screen here, and we are on 15 of 26, so we're going to bring you some good shit. Tyler, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. Ready to rock and roll.
Good to hear. Yeah, I'm just I'm drinking some Red Bull here, getting the vibe going, you know. Back on
He's got that dirty. You gotta get that clean guru drink is what you gotta do.
You know what? I didn't have a store near me that had that. So I'm just gonna drink this Red Bull out of this coffee cup. So it looks like I'm drinking coffee on this cold winter day, but actually this is cold Red Bull.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Well, should we plummet right into question number 15?
You know what? Why the hell not?
Let's do it. Actually, you know what, man? I'm really glad someone brought this question up because I think there's a lot of people that kind of skate this question.
Totally.
So here we go. So your next post shows a 60K plus sales day. How much of that do you actually take home out of that?
We take home exactly $59,500. And that's a complete lie, by the way.
That is a complete lie.
Just I'm turning my phone on silent so it doesn't fucking go off here.
All right, cool. So basically, there's a few different models that you could run in e-commerce, but again, even sometimes people show these screenshots, they show these big days, and they show their advertising spend, but they don't show their product cost. And you guys have heard us say this before, but how we generally break up our day is, or our revenue is, say if we sell something for $45, 15% of it is product cost, $15 is product cost, $15 is advertising cost, and $15 is profit. I mean, we're looking at around 33% profit. But what we've seen is as we've scaled, our profit margins actually drop. And so last month, I don't know if you guys saw our screenshot, our store did, what was it, 1,050,000?
Yeah, we cleared a mill. And
which was our first month doing that, which was awesome.
Yeah.
Celebrate.
Feels good.
Looking at that day to day, on a bad day, our net's about 5%. And on a really good day, our net's about 20%. So at our scale, based on our store and how we're running it, because there's different ways you can run your store, you know, but we're seeing about 5 on the low end, 20 on the high end. I'd say average is probably 12 to 15%.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, and it's actually that 60K day wasn't our biggest profit day. We had another day that was like, I think it was like 56.
Yeah, I think it was 56 or 52. I don't know. 56
or 52, and profit was like $9,500.
Yeah.
And that was our biggest profit day last month in November there. Yeah. So I'm glad you asked that question because a lot of people don't want to really talk about their real numbers. So it's good to ask that, put that out there.
I want to touch on that a little bit though, because there's something to be said here. Cause like you can do really high ROI, like return on spend and return on, if you guys know what ROI is, return on investment basically, but you can do higher percentages at a lower volume. So like for me to spend $100 to make $200 would be quite easy. But it gets a little bit challenging, at least what I've noticed is when you start doing those big spends and those big budgets. And at the end of the day, our goal is to make as much profit as possible, right? So if our ROI goes down and our percentage of ROI goes down, I don't really care because my focus is the end dollar that we get out of that. So yeah.
And just to add on that, like the biggest companies out there online that I'm aware of, they'll break even. They'll lose money. There's one company, they'll lose money for 12 months on a customer. So they know how much a customer is going to come back. They know how much profit they're going to make over a 12-month period. And that's how much they're willing to spend to acquire a customer up front. We're not like that. We like being profitable day one from the start because we don't really necessarily have a whole strong back end either. So, and they do. They have a killer back end. So there is different ways to approach it, but like if you're starting out and you're new, I definitely get an ROI day one because it just makes it easier to scale your business.
Yeah. Another question, Tyler, I have for you is there an earthquake at your place right now because your computer is shaking like crazy?
Yeah, my arms are on the desk. I'll try to avoid that.
My arms are in my lap too, because when I do that, I'm a hand talker and everything just shakes like.
Yeah, no, I'm resting here. So, All right, you ready to move on to question 16?
Let's do it.
Let me ask you this one because it's
right.
Facebook.
Yeah, cool.
So my question mainly is Facebook ads, the main way you are getting most of your traffic. My question mainly is Facebook ads the main way you're getting most of your traffic, or are you doing methods like blog postings, affiliates, AdWords, etc.? Thanks.
So we have two sources of traffic. Majority is Facebook on the front end sale. So we only deal with Facebook. We tested Google for the last, I would say almost 8 months, 9 months.
Oh man, probably 9 months.
Yeah, we put a lot into it and we just couldn't get it working for us. We actually hired a guy to do it. He was a great guy, but I think the issue was our products.
Yeah.
So we tested.
I think there's actually a good lesson in that too, man.
Yeah, 100%. We'll get back to that, but Facebook is our main way. And for me, it's probably my favorite way. I've tested in native. I've tested some Google stuff. Well, personally, I've tested Google stuff and then we hired Google. But yeah, I like Facebook because you have amazing targeting. Like you can target down to age. You can target down to mother with children. Like you can target absolutely anything. You can target cool groups and country, state, city, everything, like geolocation. It is amazing. Like the possibilities are endless with the targeting. So that's why it's one of my favorite. And then after that, we hit everybody on our back end. We do a lot of email marketing. Tyler is an email guru, if you guys didn't know this. And so, yeah, that's our second major traffic source.
Yep.
Yeah.
And just to elaborate on the whole Google thing, for us, we had days where we were profitable with Google AdWords and we had days where we weren't profitable. And overall, we couldn't get the profit margin to really make that significant of a difference for us.
Yeah.
And there wasn't, at least for our store, we weren't seeing a whole lot of scale. So for us to continue to plow energy in it, we felt didn't make sense. The other thing to keep in mind too is we are selling just products off of AliExpress or Alibaba. And one thing that we're running into is our manufacturer is also selling stuff on Google AdWords and Amazon for cheaper prices. Yeah. So if someone goes to Google AdWords and they see our product here, and then they see the manufacturer's product, and the manufacturer's product, I just noticed my hand was cut on it, and the manufacturer's product's way cheaper, well, then it makes it hard to the customer to be like, hey, I want to buy the more expensive one, unless it's positioned differently and stuff like that. So that's how come we believe our product didn't work. But if you have something unique or something that's branded, or you've done a good job of doing that, I think there's amazing scale on Google. Like Google and Facebook are generally some of the biggest traffic sources in the world. So if you can get them both working, you'd be in a better spot. But for us, we tried it. It didn't quite work out. So we just kind of cut it.
Yep. Yes, sir. All right, moving on. Tyler.
Oh. I like this question. Who's this?
I have no idea. Could Tyler dive into whether or not he'd send CPA offers to a list of buyers and opt-ins we got from our Shopify store, and how he'd go about it?
That is a great question. So the first answer to that is give me your list and let me do it for you. No,
for a low fee.
Maybe I'm actually, that's something I'm doing right now. I had a few people come to me with e-commerce stores and they just want to monetize it. Mm-hmm. Actually, man, we had one guy, he was running a Facebook ads campaign and he was losing about $500 a day. And so what we did is we started emailing them other products and other stuff. And the money he was making now made his campaign break even or profitable. So he was able to keep his campaign running as opposed to losing money on it every single day. So honestly, email can be a game changer for you. Yeah. But I would send CPA offers to a list of buyers and opt-ins. The only thing is I would do it in a way. So if you're going to send CPA, most ESPs don't like it. So you really got to think about how you're going to do that. One of the easy ways that I would go about it is I would put the CPA link on my website, and then I'd send traffic to my webpage. So say it was abcproducts.com. It would just be another link on the page where it talked about the CPA offer. And then from there, they could click out to the CPA. But I would not direct link from the ESP to the CPA offer because, they're just going to freak out. So if there's something in between that like pre-sells into that, that's how you could approach it. But just a straight direct link, you're probably gonna piss off your ESP.
Yeah. We've actually tested that once and we got our ESP shut down.
Yeah, we sent a ClickBank offer and
Yeah.
it didn't even, as soon as we hit send, it automatically got blocked. So and the reason is because it's not necessarily that CPA offers are bad. It's just that there's a lot of affiliates out there. They're just smashing and grabbing. They don't give a fuck. They
So all
don't
these
care who.
ESPs have like precautions set up.
Yeah, they're just trying to protect their space. So, don't abuse it. Like treat them well, and make sure if you're sending offers, like just be responsible about it. Respect their IP space and their service. And they should be cool. One thing though is if you do go do it, there you are definitely putting your account at risk. So it's proceed with caution kind of situation on this one. So it can be done, but proceed with caution.
Or have multiple ESP accounts.
Yeah. But even then, man, you can lose a bunch.
I know.
But another approach for sure.
Backup. Always have a plan A, B, and C.
That's right. That's good advice right there.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, I like this one.
Do you want me to read it?
Sure.
Okay. With everything you know now, if you were starting a Shopify store today, how would you attack it? Selecting products, Facebook ads, etc., etc. This is a long ass.
Yeah, you just opened up Pandora's box on this one.
Like
me and Gabe have been talking about this like religiously now. Maybe not religiously, but a lot for months.
Yeah.
And actually, because of it, it's really changing the philosophy of how we approach e-commerce. And what I mean by that is, and when I answer this question, I'm going to give you a little context. So the reason I would go down this road is because Gabe is an absolute killer on Facebook ads right now. Or just not right now. He is in general. He knows his shit. He can manual bid. He can automatic bid. He just knows Facebook. Like he spent, some days you're spending what, 20 grand a day, 25 grand a day profitably.
I think we spent up to 26 probably is our most spend.
And so he does that while he makes a return on his money. So he knows what he's doing. So because of that, this is how come we're approaching it. If you're just starting out, I might consider doing it just, do the typical way where you find some products on AliExpress, test them out because you want to build your skills. You want to know what you're doing. But now that Gabe is up there, we're really changing our approach. We're looking at things from a different light and we're thinking about like, what brands are really killing it? What brands or what Shopify stores out there are not doing like $1 million a year, but they're doing like $1 million a month or $1 million a week? Like, what is it that they have that we don't? And so what it came down to for us is really looking at what product is selling. Like, a situation kind of like what we have now where our supplier could come and sell the same thing for half the price is not a good situation. No, that's not. It's great for Facebook. And it's great we make it work there and it makes money. There's no question, to make, have a 7-figure year store making multiple 6 figures profit. It's a great thing. But to get to that next level where you want to do like 10, 20 million a year, I think you need to build your own brand or have something really unique because the products I've seen go to that level, or the stores I've seen go to that level, they have their own products and maybe they have a patent on it or maybe it'd be super hard to duplicate or it's like copyright or there's something protecting other people from moving in and promoting the same thing because eventually, like if something takes off, people just see it so quick. There's so many tools out there that people can really spy on your shit and know what's working and can copy you exactly within a matter of days. Yeah. Where these guys who have their own custom products or their own brand or just something that prevents other people from coming to the market, it's different because people can't move in. They can't compete. So it puts them in a situation where they're competing with themselves. So that's something we've been talking a lot about lately. Is how to get in that position where competition just doesn't exist for us. Like it's enough work running a store, running your Facebook ads, and then to compete with everyone else who's going to steal your stuff in 48 hours. It can be daunting. It can be done. We do it now. And I wouldn't say we're like super special or super smart. Actually, probably the opposite. But there's going to be a timeline and there's going to be product turnover. where if you can build something long-term, like that's where we're heading. That's what we believe in. And it's funny, a few years ago, a friend of mine, he met this woman and she had, Pandora Jewelry?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like a big brand, right? Like they're 9 figures a year, probably $1 billion company. He had like she had 1 or 4 or 5 licenses of selling this product online.
Wow.
So there's only 4 or 5 different companies, and every other company had no marketing experience. He came in and just with, I think it was like SEO and a couple other things, they were doing 7 figures a month in no time flat because they had something very unique in the marketplace.
Yeah.
So they were able to scale up and dominate. So that's because Gabe is such a killer on the Facebook side, we can now start going into bigger opportunities and go to bigger brands or people that have brands and say, here's our value. We can blow this up. We know you can't. Let's work together and make this happen. So that's some of the stuff we're thinking about. But if we were to start over again and we didn't have those skills, like how would you approach it, Gabe?
I would do exactly what I did, I think. I mean, like just off, because I've learned so much in the last 2 years of doing Shopify. Like I've been doing affiliate marketing for probably like 10 years or online, at least for 10 years around there. I'd have to really dive into the dates, but it's close. But in the last 2 years of doing Shopify, I've learned so much more just because it's a different model than the affiliate marketing, right? Like there's so many different like pieces of the puzzle that you need to figure out. And I feel that we're in such a good spot right now to build a real brand that could be bought out by a bigger brand or whatever it may be. But I wouldn't have known that if I didn't do the Shopify stuff. I wouldn't be as good as I am at Facebook without starting in the Shopify stuff. And I wouldn't understand where I needed to go to get to the level that I want to go without doing the Shopify stuff. So if I had to do it again, I would start straight from scratch again and just like beat myself up and figure it out and be back in this position that I'm in right now.
So what would that look like as far as like finding products and stuff like that? Where would you start?
I'd follow my 6-step guide on how to find products. And then I just start digging around on AliExpress and see what's already selling and what's already working. And then go from there. And then with the Facebook side of things, I would just start easy, like don't overwhelm yourself with losing money because you're going to lose money. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts. And just start with $5 ads a day. Because your pixel isn't built, I would start with a page post engagement ad. And then as you get more and more sales, start testing with the optimized for purchase ads. And see if you can start getting that pixel built more and more and get those sales rolling in. And then eventually it'll get a lot easier. But the number one key to this is testing as many products as you can. Because if you rely everything on one product, there's a strong possibility you lose. Like just for an example, we test 10 to 20 products a week. And some weeks they don't even take off. Like on our store that has about 150 products, I would say maybe 5 of those is where most of the income comes from. And that's like throughout the year. Like I'm not even like saying like just in the last few months.
Yeah.
So product is key. Marketing is second key. And that's how I would do that one.
Makes sense, man. No, I think it comes back down to, we said it last time, like become an expert at your craft, like really learn and understand it's going to take time because it took us time. Like we're doing this, but we're like 10 years in each. Yeah. I'm probably somewhere in like this stuff. And maybe hopefully you do better than us. Like hopefully you do far better than us. But it takes time. And there's people who've done it, like some people in freaking a few months. But to get to the point we are now, like Michael, man, he's been way faster than us and he's an older guy. Like they say us young people have all the advantage. Michael rolls in like February of the Shopify store and just crushes it, So
that dude is smart though. Like when you first meet him, he doesn't really like talk too much about his business and stuff. But then when you start digging in, that dude knows some shit. He's been around the block. So
yeah, he's a good dude too.
Yeah, really solid. Love that guy with his Southern charm.
That's right.
All right. You can read this one.
All right. Do you remember how long it took you before you started getting the hang of it? And what was your aha moment that let you know you finally had it figured out? I wonder if we have the same one, actually.
For me, I think there's multiple aha moments, like there's not just one that's just like was the make and break.
I remember my make or break.
Really?
Yeah.
I think for me, it was the initial start of getting into it for me. It was like when we went from the affiliate world over to this world, selling those flashlights.
In December 2015?
I think it was the 2015. Yeah, the first like month that we did this, and just like, because we kept hearing about it from all our bros and stuff and being like, oh, you guys got to try this. You got to try it. And I'm like, whatever, it's Shopify. Who cares? I'm affiliate marketing for life.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, and then the affiliate manager's just like, oh, you can't send this traffic anymore. We don't have any cap for you. We're out of product. Yeah. So I went on to AliExpress and found that flashlight and just set up a Shopify store and had a 1-item store. And that just like kind of shot us off into where we are now. The other one, and this one, I think I know which one you're thinking about, is the moment that we decided to stop only selling in the US of fucking A.
Yeah. That's probably pretty close, man. I think it was like, because initially it was me, Gabe, and another person working on this store.
Yeah.
Awesome dude. But like Gabe was very in tune with the store. And I remember looking at the numbers and the other guy was getting a bit nervous. He actually didn't think it was going to work out.
Yeah.
So he was like, hey man, I want to work on some other stuff. So that was cool. And then I remember talking with Gabe, and we were just going through the numbers one day, and I'm like, holy shit, this thing is turning. Like we were losing less and less money every day. Yeah. I'm like, this thing is going to turn around. This is freaking awesome. Yeah. And so me and you stayed in it. And I remember, because Gabe always makes fun of me for this shit, my media buy experience from back in the day. And I always bring it up. I'm like, man, we should test other countries. And Gabe makes fun of me because it was like I used to do some dating stuff like years and years and years ago.
Yeah.
And international. Successfully, yeah.
Yeah.
And the dating stuff or international worked better than the US for a lot of stuff. And so I like bring it up, and Gabe always like if I were to read his mind, he's like, fuck, you don't know what you're talking about, or something along those lines. He has this thought. But we tried it, and it actually was like the turning point for when we started becoming more and more profitable in the store. So
yeah,
that was my turning point, is when we like finally tried that. And I wouldn't say it was even my idea to necessarily try it, just because it was like one.
It wasn't not your idea to try.
Yeah, it's something we talked about, but I didn't like initiate it. You were the one that actually execute on it.
I usually ignore Tyler like 5 or 6 times before I good. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll do it. It's just you shut up. That's a lie, by the way. We usually are on the same page for stuff.
Yeah.
In this
Not
case,
always, but
he definitely kept bringing it up. So that's the way to go.
I just wore him down.
Yeah, that's how I got here. It's just worn down to testing stuff. You're like, oh, right. That works. Yeah. So that was it. The other aha moment for me.
By the way, actually, just to pop on that real quick, that isn't the same as it is now. US is actually very profitable for us.
Yeah.
But at the time, that was our turning point. Was we tried some international stuff and it worked.
Yeah, it's interesting because a lot of and I kind of get it, but like a lot of gurus and courses and stuff are just like, yeah, you got to start with the US because it's the biggest market. But at the same time, if you think about it, it's also the most flooded market.
Yeah, it's very competitive.
Everyone's testing there because America just buys shit up, So I don't know.
Love America.
Top tier 1 countries, they're the good ones. The other aha moment for me is when I realized that we had to test more products, because I was like, that's the only thing that's really like, we have the marketing skills, we know the site makes money, what's missing? And it just came down to products. So that was another turning point for me, is when I realized like, yeah, we just got to test more. That's all it is.
Totally.
So yeah, I think that answers that one. All right.
So.
Here is a question for the podcast. Is that the right one? Yeah.
Yep. 20.
Here is the question. Here is a question for the podcast. How many separate stores do you guys have running? And do you guys focus on niche stores or general stores? All right. Do you want me to take this?
Yeah, you can start. I got some shit to add for sure, but you can start.
So we actually have 2 stores that are fully active. We have a third one that kind of just sit. Oh, I guess we kind of have 4 stores actually.
Yeah.
I guess
There's 2 that get like most of the focus, and then there's 2 like
sideline. Yeah. So, but we're trying to bring one of them back up. And we might do something with another one in the new year. I haven't decided. One of them is the one that I was going to show like how to do it start to finish, but I don't know. Not sure. Anyway, so that's how many we have. We focus on 2 of them, and they are actually, they're both niche stores, but one was set up as a general that's flipped to a niche.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say too. We had the intention of it being general, but it just continues to become a niche store.
Yeah.
Just because certain products take off, and then we build up around that, and it just seems to work.
And it's not a problem, but the thing with that is like once you have a certain audience, it's so much easier to sell that same niche to that person, you know, like someone, if you like sell a lot of fishing shit, then you have that fishing audience that you can just sell more fishing stuff to. So it makes sense, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never actually had a general store that I've fully focused on.
We had the one you're kind of playing with one time. I had that watermelon cutter and stuff. It didn't really.
Yeah. I'm thinking about bringing it back, you know?
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
We'll see. I don't know. So many opportunities.
Right.
So little time.
It's a problem.
You have anything else to add to
No, that's everything, man.
Right.
Every time we've tried, it just becomes a niche store again.
Yeah. All right. You can read this one.
All right. 21. Is there any simple solution to searching for competitive Facebook ads in the same product niche? I want to make sure the product isn't oversaturated on Facebook before diving in.
So first off, your assumption that a product is oversaturated,
boom,
doesn't fucking matter. Because if it is saturated and it still sells, do you care? No, I don't. So that doesn't matter. So you got to lose that thought process there. Secondly, there is some solutions for finding stuff. I know in Canada, they just released something. So you can go to any Facebook page and click on the More button, and it'll show all the ads from this store. There's a little tab in there. But I don't know if as an American, you get that luxury. The other way is kind of just kind of follow other pages that are selling something similar in that niche. You just have to do your research and dig around on Facebook. And then what will happen is you'll start getting retargeted with ads from that page, and you just kind of slowly build up. Also, if you start clicking on more and more ads on Facebook, Facebook will deliver you more and more ads because it recognizes you as a clicker and a buyer. Maybe not a buyer so much, but a clicker for sure. And also someone who has engagement. So my news feed on Facebook is just like all advertising because I click on everything because I want to see it and I want to see what's going on in the marketplace.
Do you ever buy on Facebook?
I don't think I ever have.
No?
I don't think there's anything that like I really wanted to. And usually I just go to Amazon first to be like, can I get this faster?
Yeah. You know, it's funny, man. I almost bought that pop-up or that like desk that sits on your lap and you can move the legs around.
Yeah.
On Instagram, and then I went to AliExpress and it was like a third of the price. I'm like, I know it's coming from the same place anyways, I might as well buy it from Ali. Without laziness, I almost bought it on Instagram.
There you go. We're not that market because we know we got the back end. We know what's up. But yeah, anyway, don't assume that a product is oversaturated. Test it. Numbers don't lie.
I like that. Makes sense.
Moving on. All right.
Oh, this is a good one.
Yes, I know who this is too.
Is this Jordan?
No, we met her at Build Send Profit.
Oh, the husband and wife.
Yes.
I like them. Yes. They were cool.
Yeah, they're awesome. All right. I currently ship everything. Oh, no, this isn't her actually.
Okay.
Anyway, continuing on. I currently ship everything from our warehouse in the USA, but I would like to start drop shipping from China model. But one thing I can't grasp is from a customer service point on shipping times. Do your customers understand and patient to wait 2 weeks for their packages? Sorry, this is hard to read. Or is that a frequent CS customer service issue? I am concerned customers will cancel their orders while in transit. You want to take it?
Go ahead, my friend. It's all yours.
All right. So we do. No, okay. Let me rephrase that. We're very clear on our ship times on our site. We say how long it's going to take. On our receipt, it says how long it's going to take. We send 2 receipts. We send one from Shopify and we send one from an app called Convergio that has upsells on it.
Great app.
Yep. And
Makes
then
us money.
what we also do is we send the people tracking numbers as soon as we get them. It takes a couple days to get them. And like, hold on. Hey, Rebecca, how long does it take to get a tracking number?
And this is really how things operate.
Pardon? 5 days. By the way, guys, I'm asking my girlfriend because she handles all of our customer service and shipping. So she knows better than I do. So it takes 5 days to get a tracking number. And then we email that out. So in that time, in that first 5 days, we're reassuring the fact that they ordered from us and then that their package is coming with that tracking number. So that kind of saves the sale. Sometimes people do want refunds based off the shipping times. But what we do find is as long as we're on point with the communication with them and really let them know what's going on, they're okay with it. If someone really wants a full out refund, we do what we talked about before and just give them a discount first. And then if they still want the refund, then we'll finally give it to them. And then we just count that as a loss. It's just operating costs. And it's really not that big of a deal because remember, everything that we're selling, we're marking up 3 times. So it's just part of doing business.
And what percentage, like maybe 1 refund a day? There's not many refunds.
No, not really. I mean, last month we did over 1 million and I'm going to bring up the numbers just to see so I can give you guys like an exact amount here. Sorry, just clicking around. This is the real deal, guys. Like we're going straight into the numbers.
This is how I get the numbers too. I ask Gabe.
So out of $1 million in sales, we did a total of $4,400 in refunds.
What is that percentage wise? It's super low.
I don't know.
0.4 or something.
Yeah. So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So it's not a big deal. As long as you have good customer service, people understand, people get it. And most people just don't care. As soon as they feel that they're being ripped off or it's a scam, that's when the world starts burning down and people start freaking out. So
totally
keep on point with them.
Vengeful people are scary.
How dare they?
All right. So yeah, 2 weeks, it'll be fine. It should be fine. Give it a whirl.
Yeah.
23. What aspects in e-com do you guys see changing in the future, 1 year, and the later future, 5 years? Additionally, what do you think e-com businesses will need to start doing / changing to adapt and to stay competitive going into the future? I love this question.
Yeah. Do you want to take her?
I'll start, man.
Okay.
So this relates to what we talked about earlier when we talked about having your own brand or having a product that's different and protected by a copyright or a patent, or maybe, you have the secret sauce for how it's made. And, in Michael's story, he's doing, his best month, he did 3 million. I think last month was probably still 2.some million. Either way, he's crushing it.
Yeah.
He never invented that product. He just knew a guy that had a cool product that he was pretty much selling out the trunk of his car. And Michael, put it online and exposed it to the world, and the world loved it. And now they're crushing. He's getting a Lambo. He bought his wife R8. They're doing really, really well. And anyways, I was going to go into the story, but so what I see the future is you need to have something special. You need to have this selling on AliExpress. It's a great way to dip your toe in and get experience, and you can make 6 figures a year. In fact, I bet you guys make 7 figures a year.
For sure. 100%.
On AliExpress selling that. I would be fully confident in that. But I think that eventually more and more people will know about AliExpress and they'll just buy it there themselves. You have to have, in my opinion, you have to have something unique or special. And maybe, again, protecting your product, kind of like the whole Warren Buffett thing, have a moat that protects your business, right?
Mm-hmm.
The other thing I think is huge is having a strong back end. Like, Michael's product is a product that people come back and buy over and over again, meaning even if he loses money on day one, he knows by day 60 he's profitable. And one story I have that is a friend of mine had a product in the Canadian real estate market. And basically what he would do up front is charge, I think it was like $7 or something like that. $7 he would charge someone. And he knew he could spend $100 to get that $7 buyer.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. But with all the upsells, and by day 15, he knew that on average, that $100 would be broken even.
Mm-hmm.
So now everyone else in his space, they were trying to compete with him, but they didn't understand how his numbers work. And because he had the whole back end, and that was just the first 15 days, the average customer stayed with him 3-4 months, some even 6 months to a year. And so he was making all that money back end while everyone else was so focused on the front end. So I think that will be the other thing, is you need to have a strong back end. You need a good customer service, but like people, they need to come back and keep buying. And then over time, you'll just make more and more money. And that's my opinion. That's kind of the direction we're personally heading. Like, we put a lot of thought into this. You've done a bunch of research, figure stuff out, and we're still refining it. But that's kind of where we're focused and where we're heading. So hopefully it helps you guys too.
Yeah. The other thing I'd like to say on that is Facebook's eventually going to start regulating this, and they won't regulate stores like ours because we try to produce the best customer experience possible. Like, we have return times, we have everything. But what is going to be an issue is when people just blast out, sell a bunch of shit, and then just don't deliver, for one, and number two, don't refund. Facebook is all about user experience, and that if that's the experience they're getting off Facebook advertising, they're going to axe that, because that's just not their play. So there's going to be more regulations on this style of selling. So creating an actual brand around the product. So here's the thing, like, we want to get into a unique product, but there's easier ways to do this also. Like, let's say, for example, you start with AliExpress and you find a niche that works for you. You find products that work for you. What you can do is you can take those existing products, talk to the vendors, talk to the warehouses, and just be like, hey, like, can we print our logos on this? Or maybe can we put like, let's say if it's a flashlight, can we put a nicer bulb in here? Or maybe add this to the grip or something,
Put a laser on there.
Exactly. Mod it up a little bit to make it more yours. Because honestly, like 90% of the shit everyone buys is from China, but it has a brand associated to it. It's a little bit different from everything else in the marketplace. And therefore it creates more trust around it. And it's more unique. So people just think it's a better product.
Yeah, have that brand.
So that being said, like, you can either have a super unique product that nobody else can get, or you can have a brand following with a product that is a little bit different. So I see those two ways working well for creating a long-term business in this niche, or in this marketplace, I guess.
One more thing I would add too is I feel like so many people are like Facebook. I think you need to be on multiple traffic sources. Like, imagine we were on Facebook. Like, obviously we're on Facebook and Instagram, WhatsApp when it comes up, YouTube, Google, Bing, Yahoo. Like, we are on native. Like, if you were that diversified, and then you even maybe had some wholesalers like selling for you, stuff like that, you would have probably a pretty rock solid business.
100%.
So being diversified as far as how many channels you're selling on, stuff like that, I think, like, if you wanted to be very competitive, that's how I would look at being very competitive.
Once you have an audience that you've created trust with, that is more valuable than any fucking product out there. Because everything that you release or everything that you come out with, as long as it's a decent product that says it does what it says it's going to do, you can keep selling to those people for years. Because they feel that connection to you. They know, like, think about, I don't know, like, I buy a lot of Adidas shoes because I fucking love Adidas shoes, and they keep delivering, and they're expensive, but I like them and they're comfy, So it's like, I trust that brand to give me what I want out of it. That being said, it's a major brand, but yeah.
But the same idea exists.
Yeah.
Like, and there's like niche stuff. Like, you think about guys in the info space, or even like, probably guys who have like YouTube followings, like in the car niche.
Yeah.
Like if they had a certain, like their own product that they constantly pushed out, if you're into Lamborghinis and it's your Lamborghini guy and he's pushing like, oh, you got to get these rims or that, whatever it is,
Yeah.
you're going to be more open to it and probably take his recommendation if they look cool too and make sense to you. So building a brand, I agree with that 100%. Having a strong brand and having that following and nurturing your customer.
100%. The customer's the baby.
That's right.
The customer's the baby. All right.
I'll ask this one because it's for you.
Okay.
For Gabe, not sure if you talked about this, but you're always asking the question. So I'm flipping it back onto you. What's your dream car if you're not already driving it?
Yes. All right. So I am not already driving it. I currently drive, I think it's a 2015 ML63. It's a good winter car here in Canada. I like it. It's fast.
Got that mom mobile.
Woo-wee. Got to drop the kids off at soccer. Nope. So right now on my background, I have ultraviolet GT3 RS, which I do love. And I also like the new R8s. But that being said, I love all cars. Like I love old C10 trucks. Like when I have the space for it, I will just have a massive range of everything from old to new and in between, even some weird shit, like if I lived in a place with like bigger roads and more space, I'd probably have a massive jacked up truck too, just because I love that shit. So I am a car guy through and through. So there is no one dream car I have. I wish there was. It would make my life a lot fucking easier.
I know.
Yeah, but what can you do?
That's right. Not a whole lot.
Yeah. Tyler has my dream car right now. No, he doesn't. But I love Tyler's car. Tyler drives a very mean C63S that's chipped and has exhaust, and it is angry. It tries to kill you all the time, and I love it.
I feel, and I wouldn't have bought that car if Gabe wasn't down in Florida with me searching one day, be like, hey, I found this car. We should test drive it. And then we got out of test drive. He's like, yeah, you should just probably buy that. That's pretty much what happened.
It's funny too, because now so I drive a black AMG Mercedes. Tyler drives a black AMG Mercedes. Tyler's head mailer and manager drives a black AMG Mercedes. And one of our business partners also loves AMG Mercedes.
Yeah. I
don't know. It's just a successful car. Also, I was talking to some dude on our Facebook group, and he's just like, oh, check out my new car. And it was a brand new E63S, black. So apparently funny. Black Mercedes are the car of success. So wondering, you just have to buy one and then you'll be successful. So,
man, that E63 looked amazing too.
Oh, I love them in a wagon. I'm a wagon guy. I love a wagon. They're just, gangster Hearst. Like, what's cooler than that? That does burnouts? Fuck yeah. Sign me up. All right. Moving on. 24. As a rank beginner, I have too many questions, so I've narrowed it down to 2.
Nice.
Can you recommend an up-to-date course?
This guy, I don't know who asked this one, but they should join our Facebook group and just pepper us, man.
Yeah, they might.
And by pepper, I mean ask us questions, because I'm almost like, I love Facebook because it makes us money, but I'm not on Facebook very often, only because I have so much shit to do right now that it's like I could get lost, and I just don't have time for that. But Gabe gets back to questions quickly, and when I'm on late at night, when I'm just cruising around, I'm also very quick, and I will answer your questions until you stop. So,
but I've probably already answered them, so Tyler will just come in and hit that like button, like, oh yeah, that works. That works for me. Cool. Thanks, Gabe. Anyway,
good answer.
Back to the question. Can you recommend an up-to-date course that will explain affiliate marketing in depth for someone with zero knowledge? I think, Tyler, you might know someone. I don't know shit about affiliate marketing courses.
Yeah, I would have a couple of recommendations. I know, like, we try not to mention courses and stuff like this on here. So if you want, send us an email. What's our email again?
info@7fig.entp.com. 7figure ENTP.com.
So 7, the number, figure, as in the word figure, and then ENTP.com. You can go to our website link or our emails there.
We'll answer it on Facebook, Instagram, or email.
Yeah, and we'll send you some stuff. The only reason I said send that in because I can give you a more detailed answer to that. there's really only 2 courses I would recommend. And it kind of depends on what you want to do specifically. We're huge fans of paid traffic because where else can you spend 1,000, make 1,000 per day, like 100% money on your money every day? Like it makes sense how you can make so much money online, right? So send us a message, but there's 2 courses that I would definitely recommend. Other than that, and I don't really go through too many courses anymore, but there are 2 solid guys that I know actually do what they're talking about, and they are like, they really know their shit. So there is a couple.
I personally still do courses when they come out, and I also go to a lot of events that teach me.
Yeah.
Even though I'm at this level, like if you get one nugget out of a course or one nugget out of an event, like that can completely change your business. So I'm a big fan of both of those things.
I'm a reader right now.
Are you?
Yeah. I'm loving that Ray Dalio book, man.
You look very distinguished with your beard. Like you need a cigar and a good book.
I know. I was actually walking around today. I think I'm like, man, I'm 32. I'm like, I'm a full grown man. I even got a beard. Look at this thing. Even though the wife doesn't like it. That's another story.
Yeah, I don't know. Rebecca says I look good with it, but she hates it. So anyway, question number 2. I always think that specific factual knowledge beats generic advice. If you could send one piece of specific factual knowledge back in time to your inner self, what would it be? Thanks in advance for the answers, and thank you for the podcast. They are inspiring and a great source of advice, and have helped me to formulate questions in researching this field. This person sounds fucking smart, just the way they word this stuff.
Totally.
I support that.
Yeah.
Nobody ever asked for specific advice, so that's good. Now I got to think of specific advice to give you.
You want me to start?
I think I got it. I think I got one.
Okay.
Really put in the time to learn your craft. Really focus on what it is you want to do and what your end goal is. And don't get shiny object syndrome. So where we're at, we have, and in the past, we always see someone else making money and being like, oh, we should try that, or we should try that. Or we used to anyway. We don't do that anymore because
or far less.
Yeah, the grass is always greener on the other side, and frankly, it's not that green. So know what you want to do, focus on that, and just put all your time and effort into learning the specific tools to do that. Because if that plan doesn't work out, at least you'll have the backbone of the tools to do so, to do something else that is similar to what you've learned.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler?
I would pretty much echo that, man. You know, one thing I think that happens, and this is an opinion, but I think like when you're in high school, what's that?
It's the right opinion.
When you're in high school, people ask you what you want to be. And I think most people have no fucking clue, or they're like I remember being like, I would like to be a dentist because for some reason I like to floss my teeth, and that job probably made a good amount of money. This is true. But then I realized I would hate to be a dentist. Like that would not be fun for me. So it's like, I feel like it's kind of hard to figure out what you want to do until you actually do it. So I'm a huge fan. Like if you can go get some sort of like, if you can figure out 5-10 things you might like and then get like a job in that arena and see where you naturally excel, or work for someone for free. Because if you have the goal of simply figuring out like, what are you naturally good at? Everyone's good at something naturally, or they're better at that than anything else that they do. And maybe you're not the best in the world at it, but that just comes easy to you. Like there's so many things before I would try to do that don't come easy to me, and I'll try to figure that out, but it wasn't getting me where I wanted to go. Where I focus on something that comes like easier and natural to me, and I focus on that, like my strengths, and then apply that into like different business models, it makes sense that I'm going to have a leg up to a lot of people who are like trying to fight uphill, because it just comes naturally to me. So I would just try a bunch of stuff, figure out what you're naturally good at, what you enjoy, like what you really like. And then I would do exactly what Gabe said, master your craft, like become a fucking expert, treat it, be like, you know, you think a doctor, was it 8 or 12 years or something they put into school?
Yeah.
Like before they're allowed to, you know, before they're actually out there on their own doing their thing, like become a fucking doctor of your craft. Like you're just going to know your shit inside out. You're going to have legs up on so many other people that it just won't even be competitive for you at that point.
Yeah.
And there'll be a new level of competition, but like everyone who's new, like if someone, if you started out today to try to like copy us exactly, you just wouldn't be able to, just because you don't know everything that we do. And the only way you gain through experience. So figure out what you like and where your natural gifts are. And then like Gabe said, just master that shit and become a freaking doctor in it.
I would also, another thing is fuck around less when you're younger. That being said, like I had a lot of fun in my early 20s and stuff. But if I worked as hard as I do now when I was in my early 20s, I would be so much farther ahead in life right now. And for me, I feel like as I get older, life gets more enjoyable. And I would way rather be spending my money now that I made in my early 20s than just working like I'm doing now to spend it. But you know what I mean? Like it would be good to have that fucking bankroll, that massive bankroll from when you were 20 and you just hustled. So,
one thing I find is like so many people are like, oh, I got to do this now because I won't be able to do it down the road.
Yeah.
Like I have people in my family that say that and I just shake my hand like, you just don't fucking know.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're going to go to wherever you're going to go to France and maybe you're going to stay in a hostel. And that's cool. But I would like to stay in a nice hotel.
Yeah.
I like to not worry about how much I'm going to spend on breakfast, lunch, and dinner and just relax and have a good time and come back to a business that's making money.
Yeah.
Made money while I was away. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of more of my alley. And
because I would stress like the entire time on that vacation. I'd be like,
well, if you only have like so much money, like there's only so much shit you can do where, when you have a little bit extra, man, it's a good situation. You can like really relax and kick. But there's definitely some stupid things I did with money too. I wish I would have reinvested. The number one, man, if I could just go back in time and buy as much Vancouver real estate as possible.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Moving on.
So sad. So sad.
Moving on. All right. This is that girl. What the fuck's her name? I have to find her on Instagram. And I'm
in 5 figures, but I want 7. That one?
Yeah.
I'm in 5 figures, but I want 7. I'm trying to attack USA on Facebook, but I'm having problems. I just don't know how much to spend to attack them.
Veronica.
Veronica. Is that her name?
Yeah, Veronica.
I would have never figured that out.
I had to jump on the good old IG to check it out. I'm sorry, I'm so bad at names. Anyway.
I remember that was the couple, right?
Yeah.
I like them. They were cool.
Yeah, she's hustling. I like it.
Yeah.
It moves. All right.
I think it's cool too, man, to have a spouse that like you're in it together. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Rebecca doesn't have a choice. So.
That's true.
Sorry. This is the business I gave you. Just kidding.
So I'm trying to attack US on Facebook, but I'm having problems. I just don't know how much to spend to attack them. I know USA is big, but I just want to figure it out. That's a question for you, my friend.
I would focus less on how much and more on which demographics. Because so here's the thing. You're selling that product somewhere else, I'm assuming a different country, and you just want to move to the US. My assumption is the demographic that's buying it in the other country is going to be very similar to the demographic that's buying it in America. So just focus on that. Just move everything over, just change the country and test that way. And don't focus on so much the amount of spend, but just focus on making it profitable and then slowly build that up. There's no point in just throwing money at shit for the sake of trying to break into a market. It doesn't really make sense in this scenario. Just do it like you would in the original country that you're testing it on and slowly build it up from there and see what works.
One thing to add that's been kind of a realization for me lately, and it's kind of something you did, man. Just the whole, we had a bunch of campaigns that were like not really making money and we were doing some automatic bidding and it wasn't really working out. And then Gabe tried his hand at manual bidding and it did a hell of a lot better. So It might be worth it to approach it just from a different way. The other thing too, maybe up your price a little bit more and see if your market responds negatively. Might get a few more dollars per sale out of each unit.
Yeah.
or your shipping price too.
You know what? Thinking about this too, the US market is good, but it's kind of the wrong thing to focus on. Because at the end of the day, you're just trying to make money. Like, that's why I'm doing this. I want to make the most money. And I'm sure you're similar. I could be off on that. But at the end of the day, I don't care if my money's coming from Japan or like
some of that Japanese yen,
you know, or like Canada. Like, I don't care, because it's all going to be the same when it hits my bank account.
Unless you're paid in yen, then you're going to be sadly disappointed.
Yeah, it's very, very sad.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Anyway, but the point is, maybe don't focus so much on the US, focus on other tier 1 countries, and then just pivot around and see what works. Because maybe it might not take in the US, but let's say it takes in like New Zealand or the UK or something. Then who gives a shit? Fucking market it over there and make the money. And
test new products.
Yeah, I think people are so focused on the wrong element of the equation, if that makes sense.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so that's my answer to you. But if you really want to get in the US, test it and just follow the exact same path that you did to get to where you are today with the success you've had in the current countries you're running. It's no different. Oh, another thing, fucking pro tip coming at you. Just had this idea. Oh, yeah. What you should do.
That reminded me of Fat Amy at Pitch Perfect right there.
I have never seen Pitch Perfect, so.
Oh, bro, you're missing out.
And I'm really glad you compared me to Fat Amy. You know, I mean, it is the holiday season.
You just had that scene, man.
But like, I know I'm no Fat Amy.
I apologize. For that one.
I'm just kidding. But what you can do, and this is going to be a little bit technical, so grab a hold of something. What we're going to do is you should export all of your orders out of Shopify into a CSV file. And then what you're going to do with that CSV file is you're going to take that CSV file and upload it into audiences and create a custom audience on Facebook. All right, you follow me? And then with that custom audience, what you're going to do is you're going to create a lookalike to the US or any other country that you want to. And then with that, you can start advertising through there, and you have a higher probability of finding the correct buyer in the US because Facebook has already done the research for you with its algorithm to find that buyer with the lookalike. So that would be how I would do it to start.
I dig it. I second what Gabe says.
And if you want more of that broken down, join our VIP Facebook group and ask the question, and I will give it to you in steps. I'm going to include the link for that in this video down
link
here.
For what? Oh, for the group?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good idea.
Got to build that community. People helping people. Huh!
People help. Gabe always likes that line. People helping people. If you guys ever see that on like a Facebook or an Instagram post, hashtag people helping people, I promise you, well, it's already likely that Gabe's the one that posted that Instagram post to begin with. But now you know for sure.
I signed the Facebook wall in Toronto with my signature, hashtag people helping people.
That's funny.
That's
definitely Gabe's line.
I'm on the Facebook wall, guys. I've been there. T-Dot.
You are an innovator, my friend.
I know.
Don't let anyone tell you different.
I'm just going to get a shirt that says hashtag people helping people.
You should. I should actually buy that for you.
Yeah. All right. 26. Ooh. What are some other drop shipping suppliers other than AliExpress? Are there any good US suppliers? There's another one called DHgate. Don't know how good it is. We've used it actually when we couldn't find a product on AliExpress, and it worked out okay for us. That was in the beginning, but I haven't used it since. And then any US suppliers, I know there is some. I totally forget what they are. You can sign up to certain programs where they just bring in tons of product into a warehouse, and you can pick and choose what you want to sell out of them, and they'll ship it. And I know this is zero help because I can't give you a fucking name.
You can Google it though.
But they exist and you can dig into it. I also know that some AliExpress vendors have American warehouses. So if you ask them, they will tell you if they do or not. So you just got to dig in and look. But we do everything out of China.
Yep. There is also, if you guys do print on demand, there's some suppliers in the US. If you're into nutraceuticals and skin creams and makeup, there's definitely a ton of suppliers in the US. So it depends what market you're in, but there definitely is good US suppliers. But I wouldn't I haven't known enough of them to really put a recommendation out publicly.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. And I mean, if anyone does know of any, put them in the in our group and let other people know. Cause
or if you are one, even better, get some business.
Yes. Yes.
I would support that all day.
All day, every day.
People helping people.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. That's it for our Q&A. 2 weeks, but we got it done. And that was actually pretty fun, man.
I like them. I think we should probably do one of these a month.
Yeah.
I would imagine the questions are going to get longer, but
I hope so.
I think we will pick and choose correctly for where we're at. Yeah. Also, we have a killer podcast coming to you this week that will be released to you next Monday. This guy kills it. Absolutely kills it.
Yeah. The guy has I think $1 and $2 million months consistently, or has had that track record. I'm not sure exactly what he's doing right now. Just because didn't want to be like, hey man, what's your store? But he comes from very good, credible sources. We've talked to him a few times. Really smart dude. So I think I'm really excited about that actually, because I've only talked to him a few times, but like everyone I know that knows him has said he's the real deal, vouch for him. People we know very personally. So
you met him at Shopify headquarters too, didn't you?
No, at the Mastermind New York, I met him.
Gotcha. Cool.
I met him a couple times. He's a good dude. But he comes very highly recommended from a few people. So it's going to be damn solid.
Yeah. And I don't really know shit about him. So I think it's going to be even cooler because it's going to be off the cuff, and I'm going to enjoy every minute of it because I love hearing people's stories. So I'm pumped for that. Another thing, do you guys like when we release the podcast on Monday? Does that work well for you, or should we do it on another day? I know it doesn't really matter to us because whatever, I don't know. It's just a day, but like if you guys want it on a specific day, let us know. So what works for you? Is our Monday?
It might not matter if it's my schedule, but
no. I don't know. It's good to know.
Absolutely. You know how you can tell it's getting darker here is because now my face is all like dark.
I look very bright.
I know, man. I can see that white ring behind your head when you move your head. There it is.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Well, give us some feedback, what you liked, what you didn't like. And if you have more questions, like we need an army of questions to be able to do a proper Q&A. So keep peppering them in. Join the Facebook group if you haven't. Gabe will link you, so you'll be able to find it. It's been pretty cool so far, and there's been some good questions asked. And you can see we're getting back to every single one of them. So it's the quick and dirty way to get back to us. Yeah. And then if you have questions about good courses or stuff, send us an email. Just because usually I like to ask you a couple questions before I give you a recommendation. If you guys haven't noticed, like when we're doing this podcast, we're trying to give you the best information that we have, or only bring on people that we know, so like either we can vouch for, or they come highly recommended through other channels that we trust. Yeah. Because we want this to be a legit thing, like a resource that you can actually turn to and be able to utilize to actually build something for yourself. You know, when I first started online, I'm sure Gabe was the same. Like we had people kind of show us the ropes, just through relationships or friendships that we had, and help us crack in. And so we're kind of doing the same for you guys, giving you guys some information and things we've learned and little tips and everything like that to help you crack in. But to get in even quicker, ask more questions. Get us, if you have something on your mind, like that guy who said he had so many questions, like go to town. Let us know what you're looking for. We can answer them live, or we'll answer them in the group, and we'll go from there. So, and thanks for being great supporters. This podcast, it's interesting for us, or at least for me. I didn't really know what was going to happen with it, other than I thought it was going to be a cool idea where we could help people out. But we've had really like a couple negative things for people who, like, there was this one. What was that? What that one dude said? He's like, don't buy what they're selling. And we're like, man, we don't sell anything. So,
but I don't think he listened.
And then you said that, and you're like, have you listened to an episode? And he's like, no, why would I waste my time with that? Like, it was just like an idiot. Like, it's like, okay, man, move along, And then there was that one woman, she was upset that time. over nothing. Like, I don't even know. She just said we were liars. Again, we weren't selling anything, so I'm not too sure what we were lying
Also,
about.
on the interview that you did with Adrian Morrison.
That's the one.
Someone was asking, how come you were wearing sunglasses in the park?
Oh,
and
yeah.
Really concerned about it. Just like, it's fucking sunny.
Yeah, it was a very sunny day.
Yeah.
That's where that woman was like, she had a couple hater messages in there. And I know me and you were chiming back at her just because we're like, all right, cool. You want to play this game? We're down. But
by the way, I excel at insults. So if
yeah,
rude really on my thing, I'm not going to delete it. I'm going to rip you a new one. So
yeah. No, but honestly, it's been cool. People have been so supportive. And we've had people like hit us up, be like, man, I threw up a product last night and actually made some money. Yeah. Or like, what was something else someone else said recently? But anyways, it's been cool because we've been able to give people a turning point sometimes that they need to help them make their business profitable. So it's been super rewarding. So if you guys like it, like, let us know. We're going to keep doing them, and we'll rock and roll from there. So
yes, sir. All right, guys.
All right.
Another thing I want to say, by posting in the Facebook group, not only do your questions get answered, but other people who have similar questions that may not have the balls to ask them will have their questions answered. Which is great for everyone. So it not only helps you, but it helps everyone else. So ask away, we will help.
Absolutely.
And that being said, we're done. We will see you next week with our podcast guest, and it's going to be a good one. So
very good one.
Log in.
Thanks, guys. Have a good week.
Peace.